Hey there, in this video we are giving a short introduction to part 2 of our Starter C++ programming course. And in this part of the course we're going to be looking at the topics of conditionals and loops. And what is that about? Well, first let me remind you that we work pretty closely with the Gaddis textbook that has the title Starting Out with C++. And I'll highlight the subtitle, which is From Control Structures Through Objects. So keep that in your head just for a second. And what is this part of the course about? Well, this is where we get to dig into this issue of control structures. In this part of the course, we are describing the control structures that exist in C++ or other languages for modifying the logical flow of a computer program. Now, so far in the course, all of our programs have had a very simple control flow. You have a bunch of statements on a bunch of separate lines, lines 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and when the computer runs our program, it just runs each of those statements one line at a time on the CPU in exactly that order. It runs line 10, and then it runs line 11, and then it runs line 12 in exactly that sequence, and that's all it can do, one line at a time. So in this part of the course, we're going to start to get some options for changing that order specifically. And let's think about why we want to do that. Let's say you want to make a decision. You want to make a yes or no decision on a particular program run about whether to take an action or not. Okay, you've got an action that's lines 10, 11, 12, 13 in your program. So if you want to say yes, please take that action, the computer can just do lines 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 like normal and do that. But if you want to say no, please don't take that action right now, what it can do is it can jump from lines 10 straight down to line 15 and skip the intervening lines if you're saying, no, don't do that right now. The technical name for that is a conditional, and that is how you make decisions happen in a computer program, and that's the subject of chapter 4. On the other hand, let's say there's a particular action that you want your program to repeat 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, or 10 or 100 or 1,000 times. So you have an action on lines 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 that just happened. And what you can do is you can have the computer, very easy to do, jump back up to line 10. And then it's just going to do lines 11, 12, 13, 14 like it normally does. And if you want, it can jump back up to line 10 again and do 11, 12, 13, 14 a third time, as much as you want. So that's actually how you get a computer program to very efficiently and very quickly repeat some action. The technical term for that is a loop, and that is the subject of chapter 5. So as usual, we kind of have these two separate perspectives. We have the low-level perspective of the computer itself, where the question is really just, do you want me to jump down to a different line, or do you want me to jump up a different line? That's actually really all this part of the course is about. But from the high-level perspective of human beings, this is how we're going to get our computers to make interesting decisions, yes or no, to take a particular action, or to repeat a particular action, maybe 100,000 times. It's so easy to do. So our programs are going to get a lot more sophisticated and a lot more powerful in this part of the course, and we kind of get to unleash the power of a modern computing system for the first time. So I personally get really excited about this part of the course. In the next video, we're going to get into chapter 4 and dig into that issue of decisions and see a couple different options in C++ programming for that. So I hope you'll join me then.